A Kansas City pilot remains locked in a cell half a world away.
Will Royster was arrested 9 days ago when his United Airlines flight landed in Hong Kong. Police there say that he's accused of carrying a gun and some bullets inside of his luggage. We've been told that members of his family are in Hong Kong trying to arrange his release on bond. We've tried to reach them, but so far have not heard back.
Authorities in Hong Kong tell us Royster appeared in court last week, but they did not say when his next court appearance would be. Now, we knew that pilots in this country are allowed to fly with guns and be armed in the cockpit.
But what are the rules when they fly overseas? KCTV5's Leslie Aguilar has spoken to a former pilot about this. So, Leslie, what have you learned out at KCI today?
Well, right now we know that it's not uncommon for pilots to be carrying on domestic flights, and it is possible for them to carry on international flights as well, but the rules when doing so are foggy. Dan STRATMAN is a seasoned pilot turned author of aviation thrillers. He flew airliners domestically and internationally for both Northwest and Delta, often alongside pilots packing heat.
If I was to guess, I'd say maybe 25% of the pilots are armed.
After 9/11, the federal government started training pilots to be a last line of defense should someone breach a cockpit. It's called the Federal Flight Deck Officer Program and includes extensive firearms training and background checks.
I did not become an FFDO myself, but I flew with many pilots that did, and it was comforting to know that they were there.
STRATMAN believes Will Royster must be an FFDO himself since he had a gun on a flight to Hong Kong.
It's not possible to get a gun through the security checkpoint without being noticed. With all the high-tech equipment they use nowadays, I don't see how that could happen.
Yeah, even for a pilot.
Right.
The federal statute that governs the Federal Flight Deck Officer Program says the TSA should have policies for pilots carrying firearms on international flights. Those policies must go along with regulations set by the International Civil Aviation Organization. China's rules are not posted online. STRATMAN says flying armed, even domestically, can be tricky.
It can be a problem because the pilot's required to keep the gun safe at all times. So if they end up at a different destination from a diversion or something like that happens, then it's up to them to have to figure out how to keep the gun safe on their person, basically.
The magistrate court in Hong Kong, where this case is being heard, just opened for the day. It's 8 a.m. there. I'm going to contact the court to see if we can get some documents that give us a little bit more details about this whole ordeal. And of course, if we get any new information, count on us to pass it along. Reporting live at KCI, Leslie Aguilar, KCTV5 News.